literally like a PhD level in postmodern philosophy. I'm surprised you haven't taken yourself down a notch before you watch what the fuck you're saying and who the fuck you're saying it to. Don't humiliate your fellow band members who basically spend their life making you look good. There's a reason that everyone else in the band was much nicer to me. I mean, but the people who were really nice to me, do you know how hard it is to be a musician on my level? Because I spent a long time, I've made a lot of bad music, and I've spent a long time painfully practicing alone, and you can't help but compare. It's easy to say, oh, compare and despair. It's just, to whatever extent. But I truly do not understand how someone could have some type of weird response to me. It just doesn't make sense, because I'm clearly just as good as any band I've tried to, just have a nice vibe with and be friendly with. The bands in the scene have to wake the fuck up. We need to be each other's allies, not, but all of y'all pay for press. I don't do that anymore. I'm just done. That doesn't mean that I don't, postpunk.com is a great thing. God bless them. And, psych, I'm out, because I don't even know, just intuitively, it's not my steez. Again, like, I'm literally having to necromance the molecules so that I can create an atmosphere that's calming. I'm making these video art bombs, love bomb talks, to just make my life bearable, because you never know what someone is going through. And believe me, someone who has truly been through the worst unimaginable hell and has stared evil in the face. That's another lyric. You look the evil one in the eye, because I'm not doing that ever again. And you don't want to find yourself in your lingerie. I mean, people are in their lingerie to me, regardless of how many jackets they're wearing. I see right through them. God bless the people at my lowest who would lift me up, but they've really had no fucking clue. Just because someone takes meds doesn't mean they're beneath you. In fact, someone like me, I have to take medication so that I don't, because I'm so far ahead of my time that I feel like I'm living in the Viking Neanderthal ages. And I finally realized that people do not understand what the fuck I'm talking about half the time, but this is waking them up. I'm tired of the self-portraits I've had to do covering my mouth. Don't tell another severe victim of severe traumatic abuse to shut the fuck up and gray rock all day long. I am the opposite of a gray rock. God is 100% though 50 Shades of Grey. And therein lies the contradiction. It is proof as I speak that the divine intelligence flows through me as much as possible, because I am at once as solid as a gray rock and the furthest thing from a boring, uninteresting person. I don't want to say, do you know how terrifying it has been for me to put myself out there even a little bit? And I finally realized if I try to pretend like I'm made to just make meditation music all damn day and I don't start telling my story at least somewhere, I'm fucked. And I was. I literally had another near-death experience and came back. So, I'm not looking for friends, but if you have any respect for yourself, you will find your way into my life once you realize that, again, even having my phone number is a gift from God. Because a true, the reality is most people don't. I have my divine counterpart and that's it. And most people, they don't read the books. They don't read Where Are You Going by Muktananda. They don't read Power versus Force by whoever. Or they rush to make their own book. If you don't want to have the life someone else has, and you can't just look at their social media and make that decision. That's very, very complex and confusing. It's like in a lot of different cultures, it's like there's a reason why I came to Christianity through the back door of Eastern Indian religion. In India, people, I mean, that I absolutely never want to go there. It's even though it's these Indian masters who've taught me a lot, it's not meant for me at all. And in different parts of the world, people act like, it's not real. Going to Thailand or Vietnam is not romantic. Going to study yoga in India is not possible. It's not humanly possible in 2026. You will fry on the street. Talk about frogs in boiling water. The KVB is saying, yeah, it's just a bit hot. Are you fucking kidding me? It was hot in California. I need people to stop making a mockery of Southern California, because if you remember the 80s, Southern California and San Diego in particular is a desert. It's not supposed to be humid here at all. This is Hurricane Ferrari, believe me. But it's organized chaos and it's utter brilliance. And anyone, this exists because anyone who dares make a move or point a finger or a judgment or some type of loaded gun at me, no. Don't sing Barrel of a Gun 5,000 times all over the world and crucify yourself on stage and just have all this like religious stuff. I mean, there must be something there. People are religious. Yeah, if there must be something there, because if you have never desperately needed your own religion, you have no idea why people follow religion. And most of it is used to abuse and control people. But people need to find out, even the most powerful people on earth are going to find out that they are utterly desperate. There are infinite numbers of parallel Earths and planets, all at the same time. And you don't just read reality transurfing or take a manifesting course or never pay an energy healer to tell you jack shit, because you will have my experience for the next however many decades until you wake up and have the willingness to walk through the fire. People talk about willingness and honesty and open-mindedness. They have no idea what the fuck that even means. I've had to be so Policy of Truth, again, a brilliant song, but it's a luxury to get to lie all the time and live a lie. The reality is you will live your album title for the rest of eternity unless you repent and pray to the Most High God. And I'm not a preacher, but I'm just letting people know I'm your friend, because I've literally been, again, the darkest of the darkest evil is actually a blinding light. In hell, there is no shade. That's why God is goth. People can deal with the cold. We cannot afford to keep melting Antarctica. There are all these abandoned cities and abandoned mansions. Like, what? People are disappearing. Who knows what is even happening? A lot of times it's not safe to go anywhere. And I'm reclaiming my city. Like, friendly trying to... These, bands coming through this town shouldn't have to fucking spend, 9, 10, 11 hours in the fucking van and not even get to stop and go see some of the sights. It's so brutal, fuck the heat. I'm not even going to get into it. That was a great movie, by the way, Heat. That's when they used to make really good films. I think it's got Al Pacino in it, back when they made good ones. But anyway, all I'm saying is, from this moment on, and, it's always and forever now, in whatever the hell universe you live in. And no, just observing a particle does not make it real, because there's a beyond infinite number of particles that could be beyond infinitely observed by however many all-seeing eyes at the same time. I mean, that's what people don't understand. It's not just the all-seeing eye of God. Think about it. God made man in his image. The human brain can only focus on one thing at a time. People have projected total schizopsychosis onto God and all this black and white thinking. The person you are making fun of is basically your only help, your only hope. And there are people, as I said, who have been made examples of. Because, you know what I'm saying? So look, I want to listen to Meds by Placebo again and Black Market Music. I want to listen to dive songs and enjoy it without crying, because I end up taking on this pain. It's time for you all get to, live the lyrics of Barrel of a Gun. Don't be a goth posting a bunch of shit and putting all these cursed fucking names and shit. You don't get to romance curses. Curses are evil. And mine is broken today. And no curse ever will or was or did exist that could touch my soul. And as of this moment, I'm giving it all back to you, because I have a song, called Curse Breaker. A lot of my songs I haven't been able to release because so many people are projecting all their unconscious shit everywhere. You don't get to sing Barrel of a Gun if you've never literally been shot in the face. And I'm not joking. I was shot in the face by the false twin flame, literally and metaphorically. It was a slow burn, leave you in the gutter and drive you insane type of horror movie. And I do wish that on my worst enemy. Believe me. I tried to warn her and she was laughing at me because she was too scared to just live her truth and, try to let daddy be unhappy for a few minutes. Whatever. I'm just done trying to reconnect with old people who never belong. Now God is preparing the way for people to come into my life who actually belong here. The guy in Dubai, well, I'm not even going to get into Dubai, but it's the Ash Code song, Glow. Glow, I want my life back. Glow, I want my life back. My light thing died there. I'm going through these memory cards and, I'm just saying, I'm offering you all the experience of living the world through my eyes, and then you will find out, if you find out that someone has off-the-charts empathy, like I do, at the end of the day, you find out that they are much more dangerous than you could have ever imagined, and especially psychopaths. They need to learn what empathy is. You no longer get to have cognitive, intellectual empathy. I've realized that. There's no way people would behave the way they do if they had not been forced, as they are now, to have to, in order to survive, they must develop empathy. It's not fun. You don't make fun of a realized meditation master who has severe PTSD, as serious as any veteran or trauma survivor, and make fun of them because they can't watch war movies and horror movies and even the simplest stuff where animals are being hurt and all this shit and people are crying. I mean, there's a reason online I saw the speech, the bride and groom sitting next to each other, and the best man or whatever was giving the speech, and they both burst out crying at exactly the same time. Because the best man or brother or whoever got them like a clock and like broke the clock and turned it upside down, and time stops the moment you were married. And they knew those were not tears of gratitude. People are finding out they knew that their lives were over. So don't, no. If I ask someone to marry me, you have no idea what the fuck is even going on or who the hell Jennifer is. Pun intended. There was some girl at my college who always used to say, like, wow, Ferrari, wow. Yeah, wow, indeed. Because I have my divine counterpart, but the last thing anyone would ever want to do is get married. Even though we are married. Go look at that lawyer, James Sexton. He's brilliant. He will remove the darkness from you, or the light, or whichever one is bothering you. Because God is all about 50 Shades of Grey. And people, you no longer get to be the lead actor, the lead character in your movie and romance all this stuff and make the most horrific horror movie videos. And until you're willing to, that's literally the reality you are creating for yourself. Be very careful what lyric you copyright and what you say. Because, again, people say, oh, it's the divine birthright. But no, the divine birthright is not there. And it's just like I've learned it's true. Nice guys finish last. And people are finding out right now that I am not nice. Anyone who has an absolute heart of diamonds and an ability to completely put their energy in another person's shoes. I did that for one person only, one being only, who represents the divine energy. And I did it to protect her, my divine counterpart, nothing else. Nobody else gets any protection from me. Or you can go pray to a bunch of gurus and saints and do whatever the hell you want. Go to the SRF bookstore, get the daily affirmation thing, because it's it's a life and death errand, and it's not, you can make a mockery of my ambient music and all this shit. It's just ridiculous. Whatever. I'm not here to self-destruct. When you make a work of art and you put it in people's face and it says self-destruct and it's funny, you're the one self-destructing, not me. You do it to yourself. Pay attention to your rock history, please. There's a reason I don't watch that video anymore. I mean, brilliant song, all the Placebo songs, all of them. Because people, they were getting psychic downloads straight from the mind of God. All of the dark wave scene, all my favorite bands, KVB, Placebo, the ones I'm not going to name, Houses of Heaven, all of it. But it is a luxury that they no longer have to romance and appoint themselves as, anyone who is truly connected to the omniscience of God understands that it's only possible for the most divine of beings to have one single focused thought at a time. True omniscience is the power of focus on one thing in a million possible universes. There are people who will wake up and find out they're the only people left on Earth, and they're surrounded by robots. You can hardly tell the difference anymore. So that's the thing is like I was driven, it pushed me over the edge to be that isolated, but I can't live anymore without my records. I mean, it's literally the Akashic records in my living room, and if anyone, would dare to mess that up, they're messing with themselves. Like, I am your last hope. Don't make an enemy of me, because I know how to be you. It's again in the Depeche Mode song. I am you and you are me. But they can find out what it's like when you say I and you mean the whole collective. The poem by Yogananda, Samadhi, I everywhere, unknown to the eye, and all this stuff. I am not the I. Or whatever chosen, I mean, the last thing I am is chosen. I was just, this is me. So anyway, I'm just like, fuck. I'm doing this so I can, I don't really have an option. And because if I allow other people's bullying and withholding of basic, you can find out now. This is Ferrari's divine withholding. It's been funny for far too long. Now I'm the one withholding love, and you're finding out that I really am everywhere. My awareness is in my life. That's what I had to do to become a realized master, is have my own life. But people didn't realize, nobody becomes a realized master so they can be, some type of leader of some crazy group. I mean, that's not... You should absolutely worship me, and at the same time never worship anyone. Out of yourself, whatever. Worship yourself. God dwells in you as you. There are certain objects that should be destroyed. Film props. There's so much, Los Angeles needs to resurrect, really. So, And it's hard, it's not, I don't enjoy it anymore, but having the means to pay someone to go, I would give anything to be able to go run an errand to fucking Guitar Center. It's like I was taught to worship this H9 pedal right here. I remember how many times I made pilgrimages to some place where I could demo that pedal and somehow manifest it. Manifesting, if it is done correctly, is not easy. And if you think you don't have any problems, or your life is so great, or you're laughing at my pain and anxiety and stress, and having to kind of demand respect and all this stuff, well, then you don't know what anything is. I mean, the person who tried to teach me, if you have one shirt, just worship the shirt, and it's like, believe me, I know. And that's why I have, I have shirts that are worth more than all the jewelry in all the major jewelry cities around the world, because of the hours I've spent meditating in them. So yeah, a shirt is lucky if I buy it, because I can recognize divine energy. And I know, like I said, if a seer went into your home, they would ignore everything and go right to that piece of paper. I turned a shred of a hope, of a prayer, of a piece of paper into this by the grace of God. And I guess God is giving me opportunity, or making it clear that I'm not going to continue. Like, I have to tell the truth about, the fact that I have experienced nirvana. And you don't want, why does society hurt? Kurt had a heart of gold as well, and he was hurt by people. You don't want to do that. Do you know how terrified you should be of your own death? If you even dream of hurting people in general, however, me, you, what is, you, me, every me, all that was from the song Cruel Intentions. I mean, what kind of society are we living in? That's, if you are not an evolved, you will be left behind and forgotten and laughed at. And anyone who does music, they know deep in their soul they were called by God to be a disciple of what it means to be a goth rocker. And if anyone is capable of this is the way, step inside, showing you, to quote Joy Division, but I'm not going to be fucking destructing because my head over heels turned out wrong. That's your movie that you created for you and your twin flame, or false twin, or wherever the hell, finding someone to love you. Don't laugh at me. Don't make fun of my disabilities. I finally had the realization, who's going to buy my record unless I stopped buying records. I almost got rid of my record collection, and I bought a bunch of records from my favorite artists, and very few of them appreciated it at all. I didn't have a ton of money to spend. When I make a choice to spend $50 or $100 on something that I could do myself and print out down in the corner, there's a reason behind it, because I'm giving an offering of sacred kinship with my fellow artists, until I find out they're not really worthy of that at the moment. And, most people have to, pretty much everyone has to learn the hard way. I just, I don't worship myself in any type of toxic way. I simply do it, in order to not be destroyed and literally be tortured by people who could care less what the fuck happens to me. You will find out what it feels like. And again, listen to James Sexton, the divorce lawyer, because pretty much anyone who's listening to this, I've had to divorce evil myself. That's the trick. Everyone is married to the sense pleasures and evil, and they're because they can't be uncomfortable for 5 minutes. I'm not going to live someone else's discomfort all the time. Like, I find, I'm high masculine, but I am autistic and very sensitive, and my sensitiveness is absolutely beautiful and incredible and dangerous and powerful. I love that song by Body of Light, Dangerous. And the guy, I think, is it Alex or Andrew? Again, there's a lot of Alexes and Andrews. He was really nice to me at that show at Zebulon. it's not easy for me to even change my clothes, let alone get out and go to a show and come back and late at night. And it's not funny because I'm scared of driving. No, it's because I have mastered becoming one with my car. If you are in such a high state of meditation, you don't laugh at the metaphor of becoming one with my guitar. If I'm one with my car, it's not safe to drive. But you best believe if you have the privilege of driving me or meeting me or knowing how much pain I've gone through just to get myself there to try to, make a friend or two, just because it's easy for you, I mean, those tables turn real quick. And I've been called basically by God. It's not like I'm hearing things or any of this shit. I just know nothing changes if nothing changes. And I'm just, this living room is an absolute work of art. And nobody else gets to invite themselves over to my house all the time, as people have been doing. I woke up to what was going on. And people found out there may be a million different versions of our beach house, and the one that they inherited is not the one that they thought they wanted. They found out real quick that if they had my childhood, they would not be a billionaire. Far from it. They would not be walking. So, there are not many people who know that I would love to hear from them. But they have to decide to love themselves enough, because it's not an option. Some people actually need me in their life on whatever role I play, because when I say the word me, it is empowered with divine energy. They need themselves. You're not self-destructing me. This is a self-cleaning living room. This is a self-cleaning speak. The pearly gates of my fangs, so to speak, my proud hands have never suffered my ass. You don't know the level of suffering I have known. Don't make a mess. Don't make a mess of it, really. As the Bhagavad Gita says, don't fuck it up now. You're not even there yet. So this is me, like I'm doing spoken word, like it's not even really rap. It's a flow state that I get into for decades of selfless service, decades and decades of just taking the high road and not responding. I've had people judge me because I spent 5 minutes. I took a 5-minute break from cleaning their fucking landscape, doing the work of a landscaper for free in the sweltering sun with my own health issues. And they were yelling at me because I took the time to order myself a decent guitar to take on my pilgrimage so that I could practice. People who would call me and fucking bother me at home in my tiny back bedroom there in the beach house with my dad, and all they could see is this beach house. They must not have even seen, although some people saw it and they were like, my God, I can't even imagine how the hell you lived here. Look, at the end of the day, nobody is the person who did that. Their bedroom is I would never even want to look at it. I've been judged by people who are truly hallucinating. This is 10 times more beautiful of a place than the Tate Modern, although I've never been there. It just is for me. This is my piece of paper. So everybody gets to inherit back all the possible meanings and undertexts of they had no problem mining the mind of God all day long and claiming as much credit as they could. Hats off to PJ Harvey, because there are a few people who have actually said, yes, I'm a channel for the divine. There are every great musician does what they do. I just, when someone told me good luck with your band, and I could tell the irony in his voice. It's like, he's finding out the price you pay for pitying me, because this isn't funny. Anyone who's become a true master would never make fun of someone for being a beginner. And God made me look like a total beginner with a cane to people. He made sure they thought I was beneath them, so they didn't fuck with the fact that I paid the cost to be the boss. I'm not just thanking me. I'm thanking God. Everything I do is an offering to the Most High God, and it takes nerves and nerves and balls of steel. Most people, they talk in circles and just get paid for it. If you knew in some circles what the meaning of collective unconscious is bastardized, the song by Dog Pound, I Don't Like to Dream About Getting Paid. That has a lot of different meanings. And there are professions that people don't even know. They don't even know what they're doing because their eye has not been trained. They're allowing photographers, or they're taking these self-portraits and they're actually projecting a lot of demonic stuff. There's a reason for deja vu. And when you experience nirvana and the oneness of all things, the entire universe is like one big deja vu. Or it's a painful, depressing nightmare. So it's not all, literally the truth of all great religions is the Most High God. Jesus Christ is God, but he's not there to pay for your sins, and his name is no longer Jesus. I don't know. I feel so sorry for him. What would he even do? Don't offer God all your disgusting, dirty laundry in secret and make fun of people. God is not laughing with you. He wants you to offer him all the dreams. Excavate your dirty heart, because a lot of dirt is divine. As my great-grandfather used to say, there's not enough dirt in New York City. I'm a legit goth cowboy. I come from, on that side, Italian-born and NorCal-born, Santa Rosa, and then ranchers. They were ranchers, cowboys. So, and to the people who stole my prancing horse statues, that's another thing they stole. Do you think money doesn't grow on trees? Do you know how hard I had to work? 10 times over than anyone else, even driving for Uber, would have to work to pay for those statues. And they literally, a neighbor walked by and said, I'm going to take that. And then the next morning, they took my statues. What a disgusting, terrible, worthless crap. In the richest neighborhood, like, who cares how rich and exclusive it is? There is a reason in ancient times, I don't even want to say, look, at the end of the day, glow, I want my life back, and my light here burned out, but it'll go down, go down in history, whatever, when I, I'm starting anew. And don't assume you know what the meaning of a word is, because the true meaning of anything that is happening in life, which is a projection, your experience of life, as Yogananda explains, all the great saints and seers, the all-seeing eye, you think it's transcendental meditation is a secret? You think it's a secret how people get on late night TV? Skinny Andro Boy is the new late night TV. The old late night TV is something completely different. It used to be cool. I don't know. It's definitely not anymore. But look, like my songs that are amazing, it is just one. There are literally infinite number of interpretations of any word that you speak, and let alone every particle in the air that creates this beauty. There are literally Akashic records in this room. And the last thing you want to do is come ring my doorbell asking for something. If you so much as try to find out what the hell my address is, you will find out real quick where you end up. Because also, leave me the fuck alone. Unless you have actual kind intentions. And there are not a lot of people God allows to come into my life. But he's not going to allow anyone you know, and again, there are some people I was meant to collaborate with, and it hasn't worked out yet, you know, but it will at some point, you know. But I make music with my divine counterpart alone, because the art of creating music is sensual and sexual and sultry, and it's not just sex energy. That's my instrumental sultry. It's about the divine feminine. It's and again, 𝔬𝔲𝔦𝔫𝔢 is named after that really, really edgy song by Dennis the Fox. There's a high step and side step in life outside you ain't never seen. Now you talk about your whiskey and you talk about your wine, and I'm here to tell you people that that kind of thing is fine. You go chasing after women, but there's you sure ain't found one yet who knows something about something, and that's one thing I can bet. When it comes to really living, you're just somewhere in between. There's a high step and side step in life outside you ain't never seen. She's the lady that they think of, etc. And then it gets too dark and dirty for me to sing. But divinity is enmeshed with everything. It's not just a weird romance, you know, movie. And when you are in love with someone, you are not just sexualizing them. You truly would not do a thing to harm them, and, you know, whatever. When I listen to my favorite records, I am paying homage to the creator. When I make a DJ mix, I'm literally welcome to ferrarilover Airlines. I am creating with the creator and channeling with my divine counterpart as I do that. And it's very painful for me when I can't listen to some of my favorite records, because that you think I just go there? I mean, you don't get to sing about that shit anymore. I've had the opposite of a policy of truth my whole life, until finally I had enough near-death experiences and barely came back. That's the thing. If you're intimidated by me, I barely came back from this shit. I have no idea how angry God is at the people who have abused me. What are you so fucking threatened by? What are you? You're shooting the mirror. You're pointing a gun at yourself. I'm not the one. And I don't want, you know, a pain that I'm used to, whatever. And it's brilliant. It's totally brilliant music. I mean, that's the other thing. The goth bat, the Bat Noir Club is everything. I've did deep sadhana and hours, you know, getting paid dirt cheap, less than minimum wage, working in record stores, and just I have been. God ordered my steps, and I'm working on a DJ mix. And I don't want to have to feel that I can't listen to the music that is being. When I DJ, I am literally creating new songs by merging two songs together with my divine feminine counterpart. True masterful DJing. It's not true. Don't turn down the bass on everything and mix it because you're not confident enough in your DJ skills to have two bass, drum, and bass lines running at the same time. It's techno. It's not EDM. It's electro clash, a lot of different types of electro, IDM, but EDM it's collective insanity. That's not electronic dance music. Gen Z people are very much in danger of completely losing their minds. Because the trance, the art of the buildup and the release and all the metaphors and dance music, that's amazing. But it's not, EDM does not stand for electronic dance music. And any person who is an expert in the art of DJing and learned on vinyl will tell you that you are playing with fire if you keep talking this EDM stuff. Most tracks, that anything above like really 120 BPM is where it's at. That's the sultry, sensual spot. If your brain is going faster than that, you can't do that for very long. It's not good for you. The only way to know everything is to always know the exact one correct thing at all times, in all possible universes, under all sets of circumstances. One of my favorite things in AP Bio was the gel electrophoresis, DNA. They will find out there is divine energy in my DNA. And the last thing you would want to do is do anything to harm that, because I'm here, whatever. I'm divinely protected. And I really, I'm giving y'all back your shadow work to do for yourselves. But again, the goth artists who are true, brilliant artists, even if I've been critical, you guys are incredible, and you are on the path, because true dark wave and goth music is the most sophisticated there is. It has elements of electronic dance and shoegaze. The majority of the goth stuff, like if you go to Lose Records and look in the goth industrial section, most of it is utter trash and shit. And if you clean toilets but got a paycheck for it, that doesn't count. You're not the godfather of industrial if you got paid to do anything, because you don't know what was actually happening in the ether while you were getting money and everybody knows how hard. It's only by the grace of God that any of us have access to our studios and our equipment. But don't insult me by walking into my $300,000 million beach house and ask me how much something like my mixer costs, because my soul is in that mixer. It's not for sale, and that is a very degrading, insulting question, and you basically do it to yourself. I'm definitely not an easy target. I am not the one, because you can be aiming all over the place, and you literally have no idea where the hell my soul energy is at any given time. There are probably there's infinite number of possible universes and possible fields of the space-time continuum of however many versions of my address. God is sanity. People think, oh, I know everything, that the omniscience is knowing everything, and we can just, God will take care of it. Just give him all this. No, God wants you to thank him. You should be fucking grateful. You should be fucking grateful that I commissioned you to make a work of art, and I'm asking your permission. Because you're the one stealing things. You should be grateful to get to self-destruct and find out, so that you can walk through that and never have to do it again, and live to tell the tale, and meet me at a show backstage and say thank you. That's what you say. You say thank you when someone does that. So I just, kiss of death is really funny until you're actually there. It's anyone who's totally taking advantage of everything. They don't know, and if you love your life and your career, you must learn to love God. And he hides himself but behind layers and layers and layers. In the poem, the storm of Maya illusion stilled by intuition, and magic wand of intuition deep. That's a direct quote from the poem Samadhi by one of the greatest masters of Vedanta who ever was. Because the word life means, the word, when I talk about my life, I'm talking about my happiness. And believe me, I am the one who can show you the way to happiness. But don't try to take the word. Don't name your dog happy. That is really disturbing. I knew someone who did that. That is really disturbing. Nobody should do that. And it's all of these words, because at any given time, that is the occult secret knowledge. You could say one thing and mean the exact opposite. Being so alive everywhere all the time is a kind of unimaginable death. But the peace of death and the peace of God beyond understanding is everything you've ever wanted. But the houses of heaven are amazing until you had to live out your karma in 800,000 lifetimes of being in the Heaven's Gate cult and living that insanity to figure out that Heaven's Gate that's not it either. I mean, you don't romance addiction in your songs anymore without making it clear that you are grateful. Because anyone who's had to take on true pain would not be able to romance drugs and addiction and go on infinitum and just, rob from the mind of God and take all the, it's like fishing in a barrel. Talk about staring down the barrel